Conditionals can be an extremely important part of an AIP logic function that needs to use if-else style decision-making. Hi, I'm Gina, and today I'm going to be walking you through how to use conditionals in AIP logic. We're going to build a workflow that's going to take hotel support requests and triage them to one path or another based on the content. Before we get started, a quick word from our founder.
Discover how Palantir customers unlock more value from Foundry and AIP thanks to our live instructor-led trainings. We are Ontologize, a group of former Palantir engineers who love teaching. We've trained thousands of Palantir users at leading organizations around the world. Unlock the full potential of your Palantir deployment by going to ontologize.com.
This exercise requires absolutely no prerequisites. Let's jump right in. We're going to go into Ontology Manager and create a new object type. So we're going to hit Control-J and search for Ontology Manager. So click on Ontology Manager. And let's take a pause to talk about the workflow that we're going to be building today. In our exercise today, we're going to be building a function that can take a guest support request and triage it to one queue or the other based on their loyalty tier status. So let's go ahead and make a new object to represent a support request. So you're going to click on New, and we're going to click on Object Types, continuing without a data source because all of these objects are going to be created through user edits. But we still have to select a folder for the backing data for permissions purposes. So I'm going to be saving this in my existing project, and I'm going to call this Support Requests. And then I'm going to hit Save. And then I'm going to hit Next. So Support Request. Maybe for the icon, I could do some sort of question and then hit Next. For the properties, I'm going to have ID for the primary key, add a couple more. So I'm going to have the request text. Let's also add the category and the severity, maybe the reporting guest, and then some sort of status. And then let's also do assigned queue. So essentially, guests of a certain loyalty tier are going to go to one queue versus another queue. For the title, we're going to do the request text. And then we're going to hit Next. We are going to auto-generate these actions, and then we're going to hit Create. Now, let's go ahead and save these changes. You're going to have to hang tight for a moment while the ontology index process finishes. Once you've saved, you're going to see some spinning action here. You're going to want to make sure under data sources that in the live pipeline, everything is green check marks. That will be your signal that you're ready to go, that the index process is done, and we're ready to start building. So hang tight for one moment, and then we're going to go build our AIP logic function. And now the index process is finished, we're ready to go build. So let's hop over to AIP Logic. You're going to click on Control-J and search for AIP Logic. So click on AIP Logic, and you're going to click on New Logic, and we're going to call this one Create and Triage Guest Support Request. So we're going to click Save, and we're going to go ahead and add our function inputs. When we're thinking about using conditionals, we could use any function inputs, but in this case, our function inputs are going to be several text inputs. So we're going to click on Add Function Inputs. Let's have 3. So we're going to have the support request text. And then we're going to have the guest name. You can imagine that if this were a real system, we would probably have a guest who is logged in, and then it would automatically collect their name and their loyalty status. So here, also put the loyalty status. Those are our inputs. Before we build anything, let's take a big step back and think about, why are we using conditionals? Because if you're familiar with AIP logic, you've probably come here to use the use LLM block. After all, why can't we just give instructions to an LLM on when to send a customer complaint to one queue versus another? We could, but we don't need to. There are certain things that we probably need an LLM to do. For example, I can't deterministically produce a category from the support request text. Or I can't automatically assign a severity based on the support request text, I could try, but it might not be very good. Or it might not be very flexible. Moral of the story is, matters such as categorizing support requests and deciding the priority are things that are very well handled by an LLM, especially with some rules or maybe some documentation to help us out. LLMs are very good at that. But we don't need the LLM to make a decision that we already know how to make. The decision to take complaints from guests of a certain loyalty status and send them to one queue versus another queue, that should be deterministic. And because that should be deterministic, it should not be handled by an LLM. Before we get to the conditionals, let's start by using an LLM to categorize the support request, decide a category, and decide a severity. So here, we're going to click on Use LLM. And remember, using an LLM is not at all a prerequisite to using conditionals. It just kind of adds the richness of the problem here. So we're going to call this block categorize and determine severity. So for the system prompt, we'll say something like, you are a customer service manager at a hotel. Given a support request, your job is to categorize it into one of the 5 categories. And so for the categories, we're going to say amenity, maintenance, complaint, or front desk. No explanation. Then rank its severity. Low, medium, high, critical. No explanation. Importantly, we want to actually give it the complaint, so we're going to use a / in the task prompt to give it the support request text. Let's label it. And for the output, let's have it output a struct just so we can easily propagate those fields into the parameters of an action. So we're going to click on struct, and it's going to be a struct with just 2 fields. It's going to be the category and the severity. And then we're going to take this for a spin. So something like, the shower won't turn on. Guest name, Gina. Loyalty status, gold. So I'm going to click on preview run. Great. Category, maintenance, severity, high. Perfect. Let's now get to the conditionals. We have the LLM doing something it's quite good at. Now we have the deterministic part of this, which is what queue does this get routed to based on the customer's loyalty tier. If they're anything but gold, they get routed one way. If they're gold, they get routed the other way to a more VIP line. So let's click on control flow. You may recall that we can also do looping here. So we're going to click on conditional. The conditional is going to be looking at the loyalty status. So you're going to click on loyalty status. And so we're going to say when the loyalty status equals, it's not going to be a Boolean. It's going to be a string. And the value here is going to be gold. So when the value is gold, we're going to do one thing. That thing that we're going to be doing is going to get defined here. So we're going to click on define a path. And then we're going to define the action that gets carried out when the support request is coming from a gold loyalty customer. We're going to go back and next define the other case. But for now, let's define what happens when the customer is gold. We're still going to create a support ticket. So we're going to click on all blocks and we're going to search for the action. It's called create support request. So click on create support request. For the request text, we're just going to pass in the support request text that's the input to the function. For the category, it's going to be a struct field on the LLM output, so namely the category field. For the severity, it's going to be the severity field from the struct output from the LLM. The reporting guest is just going to be the guest name. Again, in this case, we're entering the information ourselves, but you can imagine that, again, a guest would be logged into their account. It would collect their name and their loyalty status from their account. For the status, we're going to hard code this as open. And for the assigned queue, this is where we use the guest loyalty status to define which queue it gets sent to. And so the assigned queue for the gold tier is going to be VIP. Of course, there could be multiple queues. For example, there could be housekeeping VIP or complaint VIP or maintenance VIP. But to keep it simple here, we're just going to have one queue or the other. For the other case, you do have an option to take no action, but we're going to define an alternative path. Just because somebody's not a gold tier doesn't mean we want to submit the support request. They're just not going to get the VIP queue. So you're going to click on define a path, and we're again going to fire off that action. If you wanted, you could actually copy and paste this. So we could copy this block and paste it here. That's going to save us a little bit of time. Maybe I'll rename these two. So create support request VIP. And then this one is not VIP. And then we'd want to change also the assigned queue, definitely not to VIP anymore. This would be standard. That's going to affect our response time, presumably. So let's try previewing this run with the given inputs. You'll see here, because the guest is gold, this is getting sent to the VIP queue. And let's say my loyalty status was silver. Then when I preview this, it's going to be sent to the standard queue. Let's save and publish this. This is something that you would save and publish and deploy as a function-backed action. So when you publish, you're going to get this pop-up and you're going to click on create an action. Again, the way that we're deploying this does not depend on the fact that we're using a conditional. Conditionals can be used with any type of function, functions that return strings, functions that take in objects. They could be used with automate. These are totally independent things. So we're going to click on create action. And we're going to be sent straight to the screen where we're creating a function-backed action. Make sure you choose a function version. And then we're going to hit next. So we're going to call this create and triage hotel support request. So I'm going to hit next and create. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this. Save to ontology. Now, let's go just take this for a spin in Workshop. So this is a totally optional step here, just if you want to see what your action does. So in Workshop, we'll call this function testing. If I click on save, I can go ahead, add an inline form here. I'll call this submit a request. The other section here will be view the submitted request. Okay, so I'm going to search for the action, create and triage. Here we have hotel support request. And then you'll see that this action form can output an object set. That's what we're going to view over here. So upon submit, that's going to get populated, just so we can see our work. So I'm going to use a property list to display this. So you're going to click on add widget and search for property list. And the input object set is going to be the produced object from this action. So for the support request, I'm going to say something like the shower water is only cold. Guest name, Gina. Loyalty status, gold. So we're going to click on submit. And let's go ahead and add some properties to our property list to make sure we can see some stuff. So I'm going to add all the properties here. And you'll see here that I have a generated request that is going into the VIP queue. If we try this out again, say something like the shower will only produce hot water, let's say. Guest name, Gina. Loyalty status, silver. When I submit this, you'll see that this goes to the standard queue. Don't forget to save your work. Thanks for watching. We hope you found this useful. Be sure to let us know in the comments what sort of AIP content you want to see next.